Really, really embarrassed to have to make a video like this. Um, yeah, I mean, just did some things that I haven't done in a long time, and on a day where I really didn't need to, right? My dog's going crazy. I really didn't need to have a bad day today. I didn't need to, over leverage. I didn't need to revenge trade. Um, and everything started off well, and it's like that's the main takeaway I want you guys to have from the video will just be how quickly things can just, go south. Like how quickly you can just start breaking your rules and how quickly you can start doing the wrong things and just, being dumb, right? I take full accountability, obviously, for what I've done with my account. Um, but it can happen quick, and it can happen when you're on during a good day, right? I was up, I took a good winner, right? But I wasn't satisfied with the amount. I wasn't satisfied with the point total. I wasn't satisfied with the dollar amount. And then I forced my opportunities in the market, and I got chopped up really bad. And then I gambled it back, basically. So today could have very easily blown my account, very, very easily, right? Something we've been working hard on for 2 months. We've had this account for 2 months, and I could have blown it today by just by losing my head, right? Just by being dumb, right? Just being a gambler, right? If you guys have been watching these videos, we've had 4 great days this week, right? Monday, great patience, no trade, right? There were some setups that I didn't take it, cool, no trade. Tuesday, Wednesday, right? We had a little bit of, we took some losses on Tuesday, but they were avoidable losses, or they were learning moments, right? They weren't losses like, oh, I should have just never taken that trade. Like, I can learn from the loss on Monday, right? Or Tuesday. I was very more than happy, right? I took losses. We had one trade where we impulse back in, right? But the first loss was just, me taking a bad setup, right? Or a bad trade, right? I took a trade that I didn't need to take and I learned from it, but it wasn't like a horrible decision. It wasn't like a revenge. It wasn't like anything like that. I just didn't pay attention to the detail, and I lost, and I learned from it, right? And then we ended up taking a win, and we didn't over leverage at all that single day. We didn't, even after losing, we didn't increase our size, anything like that. So Tuesday was objectively a good day. Then Wednesday, or was that Tuesday? Then Wednesday, yeah, Wednesday, we had a great day. We had a fantastic trade. We positioned ourselves great with great risk, and we held it good, and we profited from it. Right, we didn't make as much as we wanted to, but we did well. Right, we had that one trade. That was one of the best days I've had in a long time. And then yesterday was a boring day, but I didn't take a trade, and that's fine. Right, a lot of people did catch trades. I personally didn't. But that's fine too, right? Yesterday was a day where we just didn't see a trade that we wanted to take or wanted to risk before NFP, and we were disciplined. So that's 4 great days, and all it takes is one day, right, to just ruin my week, right? This ruin my week, right? I feel disgusting. I feel like I can't even describe how like it feels like I've lost everything, even though I didn't blow my account. It just feels like I've lost absolutely everything. It feels like I've lost a year's worth of progress. This feels like I've thrown everything out the window. And the reality is that I didn't, because the reality is that, you know, I had 4 good days this week, and this was one bad day, right? I need to have no bad days, but I haven't thrown all the progress out the window just because of one bad day, but it feel mentally I'm having to separate the emotions and the reality. The reality is I had 4 great days. We got a lot better this week. And then today I just had a lapse of concentration, a lapse of bad habits, and I let them creep back in, and that's on me, right? That's my fault. I have control over that. And it's just disappointing, right? We have this 5 minute. I want to see price go lower on yes here. So it's just disappointing because it can happen so quick, and it can happen when I didn't think I was ever going to increase my position size to make back losses. I didn't think that was going to be happening anymore. Um, there's just like that was just disappointing, right? And it's so interesting to me that it happened on a day where I took a win early, or not early, but I took a win first, and then was like in my head, cool. It was a scalp, right? It was just small scalp, just made it a little bit, and I was like, okay, I'm going to just calm down now and just be fine with whatever trade I take, right? If I see something great, I'll take it. If I don't, then I'm cool with the day just ending here, right? Ending the week. And then I saw a move start playing out. I didn't get in on the early entry. Started playing out more. I was like, you know what? I can get in here because price should deliver to this. And when you start thinking that way, right, and you're like, oh, price should deliver here, and then, you know, you get caught with your pants down, so to speak, because, you know, you're expecting something, and you can be like, oh, I'll get in here. It shouldn't come back up. This PDRA should get respected. And then now you get yourself in a bad spot. And really, and I'll go over all my trades. I have all the executions. Like, really, the second trade wasn't super horrible. It's just I decided to add to my position in a interestingly not very smart position size, right? I should not have added I was in 1 micro and I added lower down just because of greed, right? Because of trying to make more money, because I wanted to have more scalable points, right? I wanted to scale at a certain low. So there's just a few instances and reasons why it just didn't make sense. And there were signs that could have helped me stay out of or could have saved me from the trade if I didn't add my position, right? If it didn't fill myself lower. So the second trade, I'll go over that. Like, I don't think it was horrible, but it set me up, right? It set me up for the rest of my day, which was impulse back in to try and get back in the mood because I have to be right? I have to be right. It's gonna keep going down. It just stop rate me, right? Most of the time, you're not getting stop rate. If you're in a good trade, you're probably not getting stop hunted. Very, very specific cases where you're getting stop hunted for your trade. I promise most of the time you're not getting stop hunted. That's just an impulse to get back in. So I got back in, and then I mean I'll have to watch the video back because then it's almost like I forget almost everything that happened, and then I just got chopped up, just kept trying different things, and then eventually I just said, you know what, I'm gonna put 2 contracts on this, full contracts, just ridiculous stuff, and I'm just gonna go for 10 points because that's how much I was down. I was down around 350. And, and that's what we did. So I'll pull up the chart. I'm really shocked that price is not continuing lower because this price delivery has been really good. I actually did take a trade in here that I actually like, which is kind of surprising. So I want to go over that. But anyways, the first, off the bat, off open, right, there's a lot going on in this chart. It's absolutely a lot going on this chart. It's going to be kind of hectic. Market open, we had this SMT. Little did I know that this would be really relevant, I guess, because we ended up selling off like crazy. And this is the opening range gap, this gray box, right? This is the 50% of that. And honestly, this was macro open right here, 950 right here. We get a displacement candle here, a fair value gap, and we trade lower. I don't have, like, this isn't my entry really, but this is a solid trade right here. Like, this order block in the macro displacement, top that fair value gap, this close right here is so bearish that you could probably just get in a short here and target lower, right? Just leave your stop there. I mean, that's kind of tight, but target the opening range gap, middle point, maybe target these lows down here. Like, who knows? But I didn't take that. I don't have conviction with that because it's not really my model. And I just want to see us kind of do something here and go higher. I did not expect such a big price run. But this is the opening range gap. I'm kind of just going to get rid of it now since we've pretty much filled it. Maybe I just do this. But yeah, we've pretty much filled this gap. I'll actually just get rid of it. We filled the gap, and then these lines here are just the... Oh, no, CE's not there. What is this line? This is the 50%. But anyway, so off open, we get a lot of chop, right? This to me looked very low probability because it was just chopping. So that's why I didn't really put too much emphasis on this move down because I didn't really fully care to see this go super low. I actually wanted to see maybe this become an inverse fair value gap to go higher, right? And run all this and continue to our higher time frame objectives because we had ran through most of these imbalances right here and I want to see higher. But the 4-hour close was very important because this close is super bearish, right? There's nothing about this 4-hour close, this wick here. There's nothing about a 179-point wick that happened very, very fast, right? This happened from the candle closed at 10. Obviously, this was a 10-minute run with price. A 10-minute price run to around 145 points. So price ran 145 points down in 10 minutes. That's a very, very bearish close. So at this point, I was now anticipating price to go lower, right? So, oh yeah, obviously the price is going lower. So the first trade I did was when we had this inverse fair value gap, and I'll pull it up. I got in a little bit of hesitate entry. I kind of got around here, but I knew that I would go break even really quickly at this low because I knew that with the momentum we'd take this low, and I didn't have super high conviction, and I wanted to just see this low, and then I wanted to see this low, and I ended up just killing it. So I'll pull up the execution there first. So this was the first trade. Dang it. So this was the first trade. And again, this trade is solid, right? It's not the best trade ever. It's not going to be the, the best trade ever, right? But we got in and we set our take profits, and I was executing. My mouse was dead at the time, so it kind of made me a little bit more flustered, which is why I think I just closed the runner. But it hit the low, so I go to break even. It looks like it's really quick, but with the momentum, I just want to see us flush through, right? There's nothing holding us here in price. There's nothing in price action that should hold us, so we get our first take profit. Boom. Locks in $50, which is solid. How much were we risking on this trade originally? We were risking about 77, so we hit over 1-to-1 in the end. If I would have let this play out to the new week opening gap low, it would have actually hit, so another 124, so that would have been very solid. But I ended up just kind of FOMOing, or not FOMOing, but just like fearfully closing because of these fair value gaps. I just wanted to be happy with a quick scalp because price had already ran a lot, and I didn't really quite have crazy utmost conviction, right? So that was the trade. I was happy with it. And then we were like, cool, let's just see how things play out, right? And let's see what develops. And right now this 5-minute fair value gap's holding. I want to see a continuation now. This 1-minute inverse. Kind of just want to tape read this live with you guys real quick just so I can. Okay, we're holding consequent encroachment. Let's see the 15-second. 15-second, you'd want to see this fair value gap hold, but it is the 15-second. This order block needs to probably hold. It's getting a little bit sloppier, but the macro is going to open up in a second, so we'll see. But anyways, we carry on. I then saw that we swept this high. Another thing actually about this first trade, right, is that we had this 5-minute imbalance here that we had an SMT fair value gap. So ES, so what that means is ES here got inside this fair value gap. I don't know if you guys are following, but like this fair value gap here, ES traded into the fair value gap. This is the 10 a.m. candle, this green candle. This is the next candle. This is the same 5-minute, the green candle. This is the next candle. We do not get in. So that was a SMT fair value gap, which is actually like probably one of the better fair value gaps you can even get. With trading, honestly, in my opinion, they're just like super underused and under talked about, I think. But that was also conviction for the trade. So then we had this, right? We see it sweep the liquidity here in the 15-minute, I believe, at the time. Yeah, 15-minute. We have an immediate reaction down, and we get an inverse fair value gap here. And yeah, we get inverse. We displace lower. I should have gotten in here if I wanted to take the trade. What did I do? I waited, and I saw this fair value gap hold. And I'll just pull up the execution because I can go over it then. I kind of just saw that going on, and I just need to see where I actually entered. Yeah, we got a worse entry than that. So we ended up getting in when the order block was confirmed right here, and then when it started reacting, and we have $52 risk, and we're going to see lower. So really this wasn't the worst trade ever because this movement, right? The reason why this trade ended up failing is that ES actually swept the low, so we had an SMT. So I could have just been risk off or closed the trade. It really just depends, especially if I had more than one contract. I could have scaled some. But where I made the mistake, and I want to see actually real quick, I want to see where we had the SMT because this is important actually. So we ended up having the SMT here, right? We had an SMT here with ES. ES didn't retake this high. We displaced lower. So that was an SMT fair value gap on the 15-minute right here, right? So it was this is a solid trade. We displaced lower. And ES ends up running this low, right? This is where the SMT I was talking about here, but then obviously here, right? This is where I wanted to see, or this is where we took the low. So 1027. 1027 is this candle right here. So I now end up adding on a candle, right, 1027 because it's 1027 right here. I end up adding another micro after making the SMT. So this is just a bad ad. This is where I should take my trade to risk off. This is where I should either close my position because ES, already showed us, right? So if I want to go break even at that low, if ES already took that low, I should go break even as well. Because, and this is just something I have to learn from, right? Because if I don't go to break even there, like ES took it out, so we have an SMT there. So if I'm trying to go break even at the low, if I believe in SMTs, then I have to believe that I should be at break even. So this was a bad ad. I added because I wanted to scale at that low, and since I only have 1 micro, I couldn't scale. So bad ad on my part, right? We had the SMT already, so just a bad ad to the trade. That's a greedy ad. That's a risk on ad. I don't need to be doing that, especially after taking a winner, right? Why am I risking more? Now I'm risking 80. I don't think I end up losing 80, but it's like, why am I risking that, right? I just made money. I was really debating closing it here, but I just really expected the flush through. Really, like I really couldn't have imagined it not going, and but that's the problem. That when you start getting overconfident in the market, right? I had a bad entry. If I could have entered up here, right, we wouldn't even lost on the trade. So I end up should have just got this one off a break even. Like this thing running down here. When it ran like this, I should have definitely just stayed break even because there's absolutely no reason then that it starts running like this that we're going to do anything here and it's ever going to be a good thing, right? Even if we get stopped here at break even, like, right, this price action, just be careful. I need to be better at protecting myself, especially when I had a bad entry and had a bad refill, and then I ended up getting stopped for 60-ish, and that ended up being the start of the downfall, really, because then I jumped back onto the 15-second because I felt like I was right. I see this move start going down, and I'm like, oh, I must have got stop hunted. I must be right. I must be right. I must be right. It's the ego telling me that I must be right. So I said, oh my gosh, the 15-second inverse. What does that mean? Nothing. This volatility also came out of nowhere, so it's like I should have been careful. And I jumped back in with 2 micros. Now I'm risking. Now I could go down on the day after being up, right? This is just never good. Look at that. I'm barely even gonna make anything, right? I'm barely have better than 1-to-1 risk reward if I take both off there. Like, this is just so poor. I end up just closing the trade. I think, yeah, I closed the trade somewhere. I flatten it. I'm not really sure. I probably just flatten it when it spikes up. Boom. I flatten it there. I'm down now $28. So again, it's not the end of the world. I'm only down $28 in the day, but what I did there was bad, right? This trade here before this trade, the first trade, it is what it is. We can learn from it, right? We had the SMT at the low. Shouldn't have added, especially. I shouldn't add when we make an SMT, right? That was just completely lack of concentration, I would say. Again, it's a mistake. I take ownership for it, but I just didn't take that into consideration like I should, right? So, yeah, this loss was annoying. This loss is dumb. I didn't get the best entry, but if price runs smooth, we hit a nice trade there, and I'm saying, oh, what a great trade, right? Price delivered clean, right? So I don't hate that, but I do absolutely hate jumping back into a trade after, just impulsively jumping into a trade after getting stopped and just putting more risk on that I don't need to be putting on. So this was a big mistake. That's really literally the start of the downfall because we were just up $100 and now we were just down. Now we're down, so that was just the downfall. This is crazy price action. But this makes sense, right? This NFP, we had a crazy run up, we had a crazy move down. We're going to chop in here, right? It's going to be dangerous to try and trade. And that's just how it goes, right? These are the types of days that are just dangerous, right? And it's a Friday, right? So glad I'm not participating anymore and that we got out live. So now I'm just going to play through because I don't even remember anything. And there's no logic after this point. There was no logic, and that's just how things go sometimes. There's no logic. I guess I end up taking another stab at this. I don't know why. The 30-second closed, and I'm like, oh, the 15-second faked me out. The 30-second must be telling me the truth, right? And this is just another horrible, this is another FOMO, this is another greed, this is trying to chase losses. This is horrible, right? And this is so disappointing. I'm really disappointed in this because it just never needs to happen, right? The second loss, cool, right? We learned from it, right? We made some mistakes, didn't get the best entry, added in a dumb spot, right? But then just walk away, right? We were still up on the day. Now I'm chasing losses. Now I'm just not able to handle a red day. And these aren't entries. These just aren't entries. This is chop, right? I'm just so zoomed in, right? And again, please do not be in the comments telling me something that I talk about every single day, right? I'm talking about how this is just too zoomed in, how it's chopped, how it's a bad entry, how it's chasing. Like, I don't need you guys to tell me this. Like, I appreciate it, right? But again, it just wastes my time because I respond to every comment. It wastes my time when people leave comments about things I'm literally going over in these videos, mistakes I know I'm making and I'm addressing. If I don't address a mistake that you guys have noticed, please, by all means, let me know. If I'm doing something wrong that I don't mention, let me know, because like, that will help me, right? But when you guys just sit here and address mistakes that I'm literally talking, like the whole video I talk about, right? Like, there's a few things that I'm talking about in this whole video about chasing trades, being too zoomed in, bad entries, FOMO. Like, these things I'm talking about because I'm making this video as a journal, right? I make this channel as a documentation for my progress, right? So my point being, I don't need you guys to give me a comment about things that I do, right, that I'm talking about, because, right, you can tell me how to fix these things, or advice for it, or things that help you guys get over it, but don't just point it out, because there's so many comments that are just like, oh, buddy, you're too zoomed in. You're never going to succeed in trading. You're never going to be good at trading because you take too many trades, or you ever thought about not taking so many trades, or you ever done this. It's like, do you guys not listen to the video? And it just annoys me, and I don't care. You can leave whatever comment you want. It doesn't impact me emotionally, but it literally just wastes my time, because I'll get a lot of comments sometimes about people, people that are expert traders, right? They'll come into my comments because, they're watching my stuff, and then, they want to tell me exactly what's wrong, and it's like a paragraph, and I respond to every comment, so I'll read it, and then I just waste a minute of my time reading something that I've talked about the whole video, and it's like, it's just annoying. And I've gone on a rant for this a few times, and it's just going to get worse the more this channel grows. And again, most of you guys leave great comments. I really appreciate all the people that watch anyways, right? Even if you want to, like, leave a comment that just doesn't make sense. Like, I really appreciate everyone that watches the videos, and see I got stopped out on that trade. And again, I'm not going to be able to fix that issue with just the comments, right? It's not going to change anything, but that is just the biggest pet peeve of mine, because it just wastes my time. It wastes your time too. Like, there's no need to type it out. So again, if you have advice to how to fix certain problems, or if you find a problem that I haven't mentioned throughout this video that you were like, oh, you did this, right? Look at this. This is horrible. I started adding to my daily loss. This is where I knew the day was almost like it. This day was only going to ever result in catastrophic events, or we were going to get lucky and come back. So just super poor. What do we end up taking here? We end up going long, and like this long actually would end up technically working, but again, that doesn't matter, right? This just me FOMOing in. Oh, we're gonna go to this high. Let me get in on this high, because it's gonna go there, right? I know it's gonna go there. Look at price. Look at price action. It's telling me it's gonna go there. Look at these order blocks we made. Look how we're rejecting low. We have an S&T. If you can't tell, I'm being facetious, if that's a word, or being sarcastic, right? Just ridiculous stuff. And then I end up getting stopped, I think, here. I end up just flattening it. And then let's keep going, right? We got more to go over. We got more. Lovely, right? Like, it's so frustrating, because this is part of the process, right? Like, this shouldn't happen, but this is part of the journey, right? Having less of these days, getting better at managing these days, being able to recognize what sparks these days. This is the first sign here of me over leveraging. Now I'm looking to place five contracts. So I get in with 5 here, and this just annoyed me too, because this trade ends up going to the take profit. I could have just taken off there, been down very little on the day, but I was getting greedy, right? I wanted to make the maximum, and then I want to be in profit on the day, right? Because I deserve profit, apparently, even though when I'm trading like trash and I don't deserve profit. Could have just made 187 there. Could have just ended the day down 80, or been there, or closed position there, right? Been down 100. But I trail my stop to break even, which is fine, right? There's just no reason for me to lose on this trade when I'm just obviously emotionally trading, right? I don't think that I should leave risk on this trade when it moves like that, because I'm clearly emotionally trading. So there's no right or wrong way to trade when you're doing this, but it's just like, it's just crazy. So let me speed through. So we end up getting stopped, and this continued the tilt, right? Because you can't win when you're on tilt. You can't win when you're on tilt, right? Even though we didn't lose on this trade, right? You cannot win when you're on tilt. Your brain doesn't let you win. It doesn't let you say, oh, we didn't lose, whatever. It's like, it's crazy because this win, right, where we made some money back, even though, again, like, these are bad things, right? These are bad habits. But we made $30 back. Obviously, it's not a dent in the 260 we were down, but your brain almost gets more upset because we were up 180 and then we only made 30, and now it's like you feel like you're down even more. So your brain tricks you when you're down. It's like it was like a demon came over my mind, right? Like I'm not placing blame. Like I'm taking full accountability for it. Like these are my actions. It's under my control. But it's like it's almost like it's a different person that's doing it. Like a different person that's in control. Like just not thinking clearly, right? Like something was wrong. So then I'm like, oh, this must be turtle soup. Let me go short, make my money back. Ridiculous, bro. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I love this channel because I will be profitable. I will be profitable. I promise I will make a ton of money trading. I will make a ton of money trading. I'll make a ridiculous amount of money trading. I will make my life, this is how I'm going to make money with my life, is trading. A lot of you guys think, oh, this is where the account could have been blown, boys. Right here, we did a $1,000 daily loss limit, and we went to the NQ contract, we pulled out our phone, we started doing some math, and we were like, 2 contracts, how many points do we need? We're down 320. How are we going to do this? This is where we could lose the account. Anyways, trading is what I'm going to do to make my money. It might not look like it now to you guys. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me because anyone else's opinion is not going to affect my life. It's not going to affect my profitability. It's not going to affect my journey, right? But that's why I love this channel, right? I've had days like this, and obviously, I probably wouldn't be as, cheerful or I would be a lot more down if I did blow the account. Obviously, we didn't blow the account. But I love this channel because this is embarrassing, man. To post this is physically, because regardless of who you are, even if you are profitable now, right? You had days that you're not proud of when you were trading, when you were learning. You have days that you were not proud of. You have days that, like you were a complete liar if you're saying that there wasn't a single day in your journey or multiple days, right, or things that you are very embarrassed that you wouldn't want other people to know that you did. Or maybe it's not like that, but it's like you're not gonna go and tell people, oh, I did this, I would revenge trade, I would gamble, I would blow accounts, I would whatever, right? Every single person has that. So I love that this channel has mine too, because I don't think many people can handle being honest. Again, I don't have to be on YouTube. I don't have to post my videos. I don't have, you know what I mean? Like, you guys don't have to watch my videos. You don't have, like, I'm making the decision to post my stuff, right? I'm not like some hero, right, that's posting, oh man, I can't, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to stroke my ego, right? I'm glad that I have this, because I know there are people that are doing similar things as me, that when they have a bad day, it feels like it's over. It feels like there's no chance for them, that they're the only ones that do it. Even when you hear your favorite guy say, oh, I struggle with this or that. But the worst video you can find on their account is, them taking like $1,000 day. It's like, oh, a small day. That's like the worst you see. It's like the small days, right? Oh, we didn't get a trade today. It's like the worst, right, that they post. Or they might post their loss and be like, oh yeah, great, took our great loss, right? But they never show you the days where they just revenge trade or do those things, because that happens, right? Even it can still happen, right? Or they don't show you, there's nothing before when they're big. It's like you see them, oh, here's how I made $10,000 today, and that's the first video they post. It's like, where were you the last 4 years, right? you've been trading for 5 years. Where's that, right? And it's like, not saying that they're uncredible, but I'm glad that I can maybe help people, because I apologize to people that are watching my channel up to date, because the people watching this today, they're just seeing someone struggle. They're just seeing someone in that just is sad, They're seeing a sad trader, right? They're seeing a sad, bad trader, right? The people watching, and then I'd enter here. This could have been it. This could have been it, man. Like, I saw the equal highs, and I was confident, but I was like, this could have been it. And and it could have taken me out there. Yeah, I mean, this is surprising that this worked. Yeah, surprising it worked. Brought me up to 50. Big sigh of relief there. Whatever. But going back, I want to just talk about, wow, this price run's crazy. Okay. These charts, I don't even want to see them anymore. Okay, I'm going to go on this one. Back to what I was saying is, I'm glad that I have this because, again, the people watching current up to date, right? People watching October 4th, it's embarrassing to show you guys. It's sad because, nobody really believes in you. You're the only person that can believe in yourself, right? And you're the only person that's belief matters, right? If someone else believes in you, it doesn't really matter, right? If someone believes that you're a profitable trader but you don't make money, that doesn't matter. But if you believe that you can be one, right? Or so if someone believes that you can be profitable but you don't believe it, then it doesn't matter. Just the same way that if I believe I could be profitable and someone believes I can't, it doesn't matter because I'm the one that controls that, right? So you have to believe in yourself when you don't have results. You have to believe in yourself when it doesn't make sense. You have to believe in yourself when you're failing, when you're having to pick yourself up, because nobody else's opinion or desires or beliefs matter, because you are the only one that has control. You're the only one that matters when it comes to this, right? You control it. You control if you win, if you lose, if you become profitable. So I'm glad that I have this stuff documented because I know I will be profitable. So I don't know when, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years, but I know eventually I'll be making money, and people will be like, oh my gosh, how is he making this much money, or whatever, even maybe not even that crazy, right? But then people can come back and see, oh my gosh, like, look at this struggle. Like, this is before I haven't made a single dollar trading. I want you to realize that I haven't made a single dollar trading. I've been trading for a year. Over a year, I haven't made a single dollar trading. Do you guys realize what that means, right? I haven't passed a single evaluation account after a whole year of trying. Do you realize what that means? So many people get profitable or get payouts or passive payouts way quicker than me. But why am I so confident that I'll be able to do it? Why am I so confident that I'll earn all these people in the long run? Why am I so confident I will do this as my job? Because I know and I have belief in myself that doesn't come from anyone else, that doesn't matter about anyone else's opinion, and I know I can do it. So I'm so happy to have this channel because, we're only in the present moment, right? We're going to all wake up 2 years from now. This video is going to have at the bottom, it's going to say dated 2 years ago or 1 year ago. Very soon, right? In a blink of an eye. Just like when I started posting on this channel in January, February, right? Those videos now have stuff that says 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, right? 9 months, right? The same way I was living in that moment and then making that video, I'm making the video now, which means I'll be making a video in a year from now, which means we will improve. And I can't wait to see and have this, because this week, better week, right? I haven't made this mistake in a long time. I used to make it a lot more often. I've had this account for 2 months. That's very rare. All right, we're gonna have to come back better next week and really take good setups and really be calm and try and brush this off. But it's disappointing because it's embarrassing. It's disappointing, but it's only embarrassing or it's only bad if I don't believe in what I'm doing. If I don't believe in the process, if I don't believe that I can do it. If I don't believe that I can do it, then yeah, when someone comments something negative, then yeah, it's going to affect me. But I believe I can do it, right? You shouldn't comment negative things on people's stuff regardless, right? Again, it's not going to ruin my day. But, it doesn't help me. and it doesn't help other people. So I feel like negativity really is, you should really limit it, because it doesn't help you either, right? You leaving something negative on someone's account does not come from anything beneficial, right? For anyone. Negativity doesn't help a single person. So I'm disappointed with today. Happy we recovered it. The last trade I ended up taking was it's actually kind of solid. I'm not gonna lie. We had been displacing, right? We made a 30-second. We made a, yeah, we got in here on the 15-second, 30-second, whatever, and then we got stopped. And then we saw that the 1 minute was being held, I think. Yeah, the 1 minute fair value gap was holding consequent encroachment. I wanted to see this get inversed. It started running, and then I got in on this 15-second. I was going to risk just the last amount of my balance. I was up $35 at this point, so I was just going to risk $31, and then I was just 100% going to lock my account. I was like, okay, if we get stopped, like we need to be done, right? We need to be done. And I was going to lock my account. I promise, right? I know it doesn't seem very credible, but I genuinely promised I was going to lock my account. And then this price run actually delivered like really solid, bro. It didn't hit the full take profit, as you guys can see, but like the delivery is pretty clean, right? We had this imbalance. It ended up getting displaced through. We made another order block. And then I just ended up closing position. I should have just closed there, right? We've been up a little bit more. $103. But that's a good little price run, right? It didn't hit the full take profit, but what did we do? We ended up locking the account right away. So we ended up getting a little bit, I think like $80 there on that micro. But that was a good price run, right? So this move here, right, from here to here, right, this is a good price run. Just because you don't hit your targets doesn't mean that this move isn't valid. It just means that you have to be better at taking profits, right? And that's something I need to get better at. And it's hard when I trade 1 or 2 micros to take profits accordingly. But just being aware of where you should is really the biggest thing, right? So we do have an SMT here now. So I actually kind of want to paper this and continue, right? This has been a long video, but it's nice, right? Because this video is for me, right? It helps me talk. Whenever I can talk about, the things that happen, it just helps me, right? So we're gonna go 2 micros on the practice paper, right? But the reason why it helps me is because I was super disappointed, and again, it helps that I didn't blow the account. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I would be positive at all if I blew the account, but it's just like negativity is not gonna help me, Again, I would probably be a lot negative if I blew the account. I'm genuinely not going to lie. I still am very disappointed, right? I can still be very disappointed objectively, even though my body, because your brain doesn't know the difference, right? Your brain doesn't know the difference between dopamine. So there's a good amount of dopamine rush when I made money back, right? But your heart knows, your brain, your heart knows when you did something wrong. It knows it still. So even though my body, my brain feel all right because the dopamine spike of making money back and not being down in the day, but I know what I did was horrible. I know what I did was wrong. I'm super upset with it because it's hard to explain, because when you're upset and your body's upset, you feel upset. Your body's boiling, raging, whatever, right? That's when you blow your account. That's when you feel the rage in you, and you think it. But when you get lucky and you get away with it, you kind of have that, that little guilty pleasure, right? That little, we got away with it, right? And that's never good. But that's the reality. But your brain knows, I know I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done it. Man, I can't believe I did it. And you feel disgusted. And that's where I'm at today. I just feel disgusted because it shouldn't happen, right? It shouldn't happen. But I do want to just quickly recap this, right? 400 on the week. Again, this actually wouldn't be an inaccurate figure if I just stopped after my first trade, right? Tough Friday, great week, right? 4 great days. Let's not forget 4 great days. Let's not lose conviction over one day, right? Even though this day could have blown the account. That's just why it shows you Be careful, because one day can throw everything away. One day could have thrown this entire 2-month account away. One day. And that should never be possible. It should take at least 4 days, max, minimum 4 days. To throw away a whole 2 months, 4 days minimum. You got to be having the worst 4 days too. One bad day can't blow up everything, right? It's just unacceptable. So it doesn't give me fear. It just gives me hope that I can get better and I can keep getting better, right? So I, again, am very sorry to disappoint you guys. It's embarrassing, right? It's embarrassing as you guys, you know, it's very embarrassing for me, right? It's just disappointing too, and it's just disappointing people that support me and actually, want to see me do well. Like, I do apologize, but I promise I'm getting better. I promise, right? And don't worry, like, it's kind of like, I forgot who, it's probably ICT because he has this kind of complex, but maybe it wasn't. But it's kind of just like, doubt me as much as you want right now. Regardless if you, like, you might want me to succeed, but you're just like, oh, there's no way this kid's ever going to become profitable, right? But you might genuinely want me to, but you're just like, oh, he makes too many mistakes, he's just never going to fix this or that. If that's how you feel, like that's great, like, that's fine. And I don't even want you to believe in me to be able to be profitable, right? I'm going to show you. I promise. I'm going to show every single person, not to prove anyone wrong, not on some ego, but I'm going to show people what you can do when you set your mind to something and you focus on getting better, right? So if you don't believe me, just stick around, right? Just give me some time, give me some grace, and I promise I won't let everyone down. The day that you don't see an upload on this channel is the day that you can make the conclusion, like, not just one day, but like the day that it goes like a week, month, and I'm not posting, then you can make the assumption that I've lost, right? But until then, I haven't lost, so we're still gonna be out here kicking, and we'll get it done. So I appreciate everyone that's tuned into the video today. Here's a little pro tip. If you were thinking about going to the Joker movie with Lady Gaga, I ain't going to spoil anything. But do not waste your time. Do not waste your money. That was the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and I loved the first Joker movie. Do not watch that movie. Please. Please do not watch that movie. That's a little PSA. Last thing. I know I've said this the last 2 weeks. I literally have a video scheduled tomorrow that's coming out at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a banger. If you made it this far, I'm sure you'll watch the video. It's going to be great. I have a nice interview with someone. I think people will enjoy it. So please check that out. I hope it does well because it's such a good interview. And I'm really hoping it does well. But this has been a long video too. So I'm going to have back-to-back days with crazy long videos. So I apologize. I appreciate everyone that's been tuned in. Have a good weekend, guys. Be careful, right? I hope that, maybe this video helps someone that had a bad Friday too. Who knows, right? But, yeah, I'm going to get better. Trust me. It's going to be a long process, but I will get there. And I can't wait to show you guys. So, again, if you don't believe me now, you'll believe me then, right? But, again, until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.